of you
But she's
here.
an awful lot like your mommy.
What is that noise?
Special, Daddy?
There's noise coming from somewhere, and I don't know. Oh, it's that. Right.
I guess you can say that.
I want 282 of you here. Jeez, what's happened? It's broken. It's broken. It's broken. I want Twitch stats. I want you there. Right. It says here there's naught of you. Kaboom. It doesn't work. I can't hear the music. I cannot hear the music. Somewhere. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, there's a button on there I didn't press. You know when I dusted the...
She's special.
You know when I dusted the thing? It says naught viewers now. You all said you were going to come back. You all said you were going to come back.
I'm Ian, the General.
Let's watch this. How many people? You said you're all. It's not technicals. Okay, so here we go. So this is me at Absolute Radio, right? And I'm an absolute legend, right? And I said I was going to fight a listener. Here we go.
I'm Ian, the General Lee. I don't know what they're laughing for. That's me being tough. And we.
Where's the one that had 6,000? Because that is poor quality. That is poor quality.
Don't.
Oh, I just saw your thing, Mark Pitts. I totally agree. I mean, I totally agree. There are other factors, but I totally agree. What's weird, Catherine? You didn't know this guy, did you? Ian Lee wrestles. I was clean. This was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. This might be better quality. Here we go. Here we go. This is the hardest thing I've had to do in my life because I wanted to kill this guy, and I had to. I've not seen this. Bloody hell! Look, I had to hold it back. T Bewitched, thank you for the sub.
So this is the fight day. I'm Ian, the General Lee.
Got dog tags.
I don't know what they're laughing for. That's me being tough. And we got Matt the Pain Early, who I'm going to beat the crap.
This guy's tiny, right? Matt the Pain Early.
Out of. We got here because, let's just say, my radio show was lacking content.
That is true. You think the talk radio show and the Twitch show are barren? You wait.
Fill that content. I thought it'd be nice to invite someone in so I could have a fight with them. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I think Matt's going to lose because he's really small, and the last time he wrestled was at least 9 years ago.
There's Verinda.
First round. First 30 seconds, probably.
Ladies
Ben Jones.
and gentlemen!
We went to a gym and did this. This was a big thing.
Very first Wrestler Listener 2009! It's in London. Please welcome your contestants, Matt the Pain!
Big fingers. I think that was Eloise with the big finger. Look at this. This is great, man. I forgot about this. This is great. I think that's Eloise with the big finger. This is better than the YouTuber boxing. Oh, man, this is great. He was brilliant, this guy. He was a listener. Watch my entrance. This is an entrance.
And now, give a warm
This is an
welcome
entrance.
to Ian the General!
Go, cigar! Watch this. watched this. He was great. Look, Gatford. Gatford's there.
Shut up, Jones. Let's get this fight started.
There's Davis. Mm-hmm. Now, he nearly beat me about 30 seconds into the fight, I remember. We won't watch all this, but he nearly beat me about 30 seconds into the fight. Suddenly got really... He had me pinned down and I couldn't breathe. And then I managed to get back. I don't know how. And then it went on for like another 10 minutes. He was great, this guy. He really got into it. He was funny. There was Gatford. You see him? Which way are we going? Hang on, I'll find you, Gatford.
Shut up, Jones. Let's get this fight started.
Here we go. Here's Gatford. There's Gatford. In the blue. There. Look how slim I am.
Shall we start? Shall we get the rules up, ref?
Yeah. No punching, no
There's Gatford. He's a real ref.
strikes. We're going to fight to a 3 count. Shoulders down.
He nearly got me. My boys haven't seen this. No, I forget about all this stuff. This is like this is like a lifetime ago. This is not. I don't know who this guy is. I don't remember this guy. Nice trousers. I like those trews. He gets me down almost quickly, almost immediately, and I'm buggered.
Come on, Payne! Come on, Payne! Get in there, Payne! What are you waiting for?
He's fast, this guy.
He's got his socks off. I didn't know we were going for a sock off.
Sock off. Royal Rumble. Socks off. Socks off. Here we go. You got to get in low. That's the thing with wrestling. I think. I don't know. Got to get in low. Here we go. He gets me down. I'm nearly done here. He gets me down. I'm done. I can't get up. I cannot get up. There. I cannot get up or breathe. Oh, look at that! Look at that, man! This went on for so long. My chest was killing me. Mounted him.
Come on, Payne, you big girl!
This is flipping horrible. I mean, I think he might have let me win because it went on for so long. Break. What for?
Carry on then.
I'm absolutely dead at that point. I can't breathe. Let's skip forward a bit. I think he let me win because it was going on for so long.
Jones. Take this, bitch!
Oh! Excuse my language. Excuse my language. Yes, son! Push!
The pink! Oh, he's crying with his mate because he got beaten by me. Baby! Up yours, everyone. Good night.
I want to say that it wasn't just me that won that fight. It was my partner here, Vinny.
Look how good looking I am. Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
He did a cracking job. Brother, man, you see him take he broke my helmet that cost me £25, but cheers, brother.
Bought that helmet from a, what do they call it? Military man. Looking like a military man. Looking, it's army surplus.
That's what I'm talking about. But actually, it wasn't Vinny that won that fight. It was me that won that fight. By being the toughest, by being the fittest, by having the cojones just to... Listen, my message to anyone watching this, listening to this is, dreams can come true.
Dreams can come true.
You've just got to believe and work, and you too could be beating some loser in a posh gay gym somewhere in Soho.
I think it was actually a gay gym. It's not
I
me.
didn't like the way he kept stopping it all the time. Not happy at all.
Did stop it a lot.
If it was allowed to play on, I would have had him within 2 minutes, but he just wanted to keep stopping it.
Can we find this guy? I want to recreate this.
Okay, so you're watching this, you want a piece of this. I will take any of you losers on. Any of you on. Just get in touch if you think you can beat the general at this, or even this. I will take you down to Chinatown.
Gatford, you were here when we saw you, right? You were here, we saw you in this. That was fun. He was funny. Look at his face. You there, Gatford? We saw you. Were you here when that happened? Let's find Gatford. Let's show Gatford. There's a bit when he takes the cigar out. You see him really well.
Fight started.
There we are. There you go, Gatford. There you are. There you are. There's another one.
Should we get the rules?
3 count.
There you go.
Shoulders down. Yeah. No punching, no...
There you go. There's Gary. There's Gary. That was fun. That T Bewitched, thank you. I don't know if I saw the thing. David Turner says, something tells me Davis wasn't fully behind this bit. Davis wasn't fully behind any of the ideas that I had. Gatford, see if he was such a nice guy. I think he listened to some of the talk radio shows. I kind of stayed in touch with him a bit. And I think he got in touch during one of the talk radio shows. Gatford, let's recreate it. Let's get him. Let's get him. You can call if you want. I mean, I think this is kind of the show. I don't think we're going to go behind a paywall. Are you cool with that? $6.60. I tell you what, $4.99 and above, you will get the full podcast of that and of this. How does that sound? Does that sound like a fair deal? Catherine, if you want to come on Zoom at any moment, you're you're very, very welcome. Of course you're welcome. It's your show. But if people want to call in, you can. There's the phone. Do you know what? I think the Lee Mondo is... I think we're done with the Lee Mondo. Do you not think, guys? Let's get this guy back. Let's get this guy back. Catherine's making signs. Okay. We're doing the Fate for the kids on Wednesday. We got some great stuff. I bought a load of like party favours. I bought stuff like this sticky poo. This will be a prize. I did, thank you. Well, Limondo is gone. I got this, and I got this turkey shooter, and I bought like a box of like fidget toys, like spinners and stuff, for like they're like £6-7. I bought 2,500 of the bangers. You know the bangers you throw on the floor. I bought 2,500. You could only get them in box. You can only get them in that many. So it's 50 in each box. 2,500. It was like £6-7 for 2,500 bangers. I wanted to get caps, but then I didn't want to buy guns because I'm one of them. What did Piers Morgan? Piers Morgan has written a book about him being an arsehole, and it's called. He said, buy this book and get it to number 1 so we can show those left wokey tossers or something. I don't drop the box, Dr. Balls. You're absolutely correct, because I feel like a bloody terrorist. So we bought loads of stuff like that, and there's those paper, those kind of foam aeroplanes you build. Again, it was like £3, but you get 50. So I bought those bins, 90-litre metal bins that you can burn garden waste in. Well, I bought one of those and I've not used it yet. So I've got that as a lucky dip. And I bought sawdust, but I bought way too much sawdust. Anyway, so I bought that. And I've put a lucky dip in there. Got my kids, Catherine's kids, and I've got 4 prizes for each in there. We've got the tombola, and I bought some like comics and some like smelly pens and the stuff like that as tombola prizes, and some like lion bars and stuff, you know. We're going to have a Splat the Rat, which we're going to make out of tubes, and Catherine's got a rat, and we're going to stick that to the shed wall. We've got Mr. Slushy Maker, Mr. Hush Slush. What are they called? The dog. Slush puppies. Catherine's got a candy floss machine. Brand tub. Shut up. We're going to do apple bobbing. I've also got cans and a ball. Also bought inflatable pugil sticks. And you stand on like an inflatable mound with pugil sticks and you beat the crap. And we're going to play that, and we're going to allow the kids start firing the bin, chucking 2,500. Those bangers. Gladiator ready. And so we're going to play that, and then we're going to advance it by having people chuck wet sponges while you're fighting. And then we've got a prize table. Getting more little bits here. And then we're going to get the hose out, and you can do the hose. You're doing a treasure hunt? Maybe. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. How many tokens for the tombola? Do you mean to have a go on the tombola? And... Oh, 2, I think. Everything else is 1, and the prize table they got to win apple bob. I'm gonna do apple bobbing, and we've got a surprise coming at 2:00 that Catherine doesn't know what it is. Only me and my youngest know what it is. We've got a surprise coming. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be Wednesday, and if the weather's like this, we're okay. I think it actually says it's going to rain, but if it rains, we do it inside, although the surprise has to happen outside. And it's not blobby. To prove your toughness as a kid, you had to squeeze the bangers in your fingers. Oh, they scared me. They scared me to yesterday when I was playing with them. You know what? I will take some pictures, which I will display for you guys. I won't take any pictures of the kids. Maybe we'll do a little film bit with my boys for behind the paywall, because I'm cool sharing my boys with the paywall guys. I don't mean that, you know. And you'll get to see it. So we're going to take the dining table, and there's a table in the office, and we're going to have tables, and it's going to be flipping awesome. It's stupid and it's dumb, and they'll be bored after 40 minutes. You know what kids are like. But it's going to be wicked. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah. And then I'm away with the boys next week, thanks to the wonderful Amy, who has helped me immensely in she got me a really healthy discount and fast track passes and stuff for Jessington. So we're very excited about that. She's done an amazing job. She's also you're going to get lots of pictures of me and Amy next week. She's also made envelopes for all the days that we're there. I don't know what's in the envelopes. And in the envelope, it's got like a surprise for us of something we're going to do. And I get quite emotional about it because it's really kind. Anyone that shows kindness to my boys, like Imani, I love Imani anyway, but I went to New York with my boys and we arranged to meet her. And she was so kind. She knew I was struggling a bit. And she said, look, if you want me to take the boys for a day, I'll take them. And I said, let's not. But we met the boys and we went to see a film that was quite inappropriate. And I saw her about 200 yards down the street and she was flossing for the boys. So we're meeting, and they fell in love with her, partly because in American cinemas, they have melted butter just on a pump. Melted butter. And they were like, she showed them that. And then my youngest went and sat next to her. And then we went back to the hotel and watched her pop videos. And they went, oh my God, she's a real pop star. I said, yeah, she's a real pop star. So anyone that shows, I don't know if Amy's here, I think she's at work. Gapfer says, I sent your pictures of my toes for your boys. As long as you don't send the Gap. Anyone that shows kindness to my boys, beyond just going, hey guys, star me. And Amy has done just that. She's envelopes with the things. So you're going to get. I might film a little bit, some pieces with Amy as well that we'll show during the show if she's up for that, because she's a legend. What else? What else? Yeah, schedule is back to normal from tomorrow morning. I'm really sorry. Cozy Bug, thank you for the sub. It's really appreciated. Thank you. And the lovely cat emoji. Yeah, apologies for today. You know, I had to go to the vets at 8, and then I had to sit with Pats because she was still out of it a bit, and she can't walk, and so she's trying to walk. So I just lay on the floor with her, and we fell asleep snuggled up together. When she comes back, might be tomorrow, probably Wednesday, could be Thursday. She has to spend a month in a playpen. In case she can't really put too much pressure on the leg because the pins might snap. So we will probably have the playpen there for when we're doing the show. My poor little girl. They're such a worry, huh? And people who don't have pets, you got formal cats. But they're like, we'll have a Pattie cam, Mandula. We'll have a Pattie cam. We'll have a Pattie cam in the little playpen. That's what we're going to do. And I might just do a stream where it's just Pattie in the playpen for an hour. Do that overnight. Now we haven't got to play the ads. We can do that. We can do that overnight and I can go to bed. But they're such a worry. They're family, man. Do vets make you pay up front before they do the work, or can you use finance? Not trying to be flippant, I guess lots of people. Right, okay, here's the thing. I didn't have insurance for Pattie. I thought I had. I'm a big advocate of people getting insurance. It's £6, £7, £8 a month if you get a good deal, and it will cover £2,000, maybe £4,000 if you get a higher premium. The ones I go for tend to cover £2,000. Didn't have it for Pats. Forgot. I was looking for the email, and then it dawned on me, I don't think I did it. So I've done it. I certainly had it for Mucky and Lucky. I've done it for George and Big Boy. And I'll do it for her when she comes home. But that would have only covered £2,000, and probably I would have had to pay maybe £100, whatever that word is. You should be in bed. Criv! Cozy Bug, thank you for the sub. Criv, £35. Thank you. I'm going to change that donate thing. I want it to last longer than 5 days. I'll change that. Some vets will allow you to do like a payment plan. And with Pattie, excess, thank you. With Pattie, so the weekend stay, Richard, thank you, mate, thank you. She was in for 2 nights overnight, and I should have brought her back for the second night. I didn't know it would be so expensive. That was £1,900, and I paid the deposit of £500, and then I paid the rest after I'd gotten everything I wanted. Where she is for the operation, it's going to be between £4,500 and £5,500. Plus, there's aftercare as well. They didn't mention the aftercare, but I saw it on the invoice, which is like £400, £500, £600. And they wanted a deposit of £2,500. Now, here's the rub. Yesterday, I got a call from the bank saying, we think there's been fraudulent activity on your card. And I think someone had tried. I don't know what it was. They said, we think we're going to cancel the card. We're going to send you a new card. And I'm thinking, oh, man, I got a lot of money to pay. Okay. So I've been doing it on my mum's card. Shh. So my mum has spent, she spent £4,000 and doesn't know it. I'm going to pay it back. I promise. I'm going to transfer it later on today. I'm going to pay it back. And hopefully I'll have my card back to pay the other £3,000 when it comes. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So this is what the donation is. I've refunded the £5,500. She doesn't know. I've refunded the £5,500 that I got, a very early Christmas present, yeah, that I got from the GoFundMe, because I didn't sleep last night for 3 reasons. My mum doesn't know. She doesn't know. I've got power of attorney. My mum's not very well, and she's with it, but she, I know exactly how much she's got in the bank. It was £23,000, because that's just below the. She's in a care home. If she had more than £23,500, she would have to pay for her care. I think she's got about £21,000. Anyway, so I know she's got the money, and what was I saying? So I'm not going to tell her. There's no need for me to tell her. I'm going to transfer the money over today, so she doesn't even really need to know. But if I did ask her, I mean, she can't really spend her money, because if there is like a huge withdrawal from her account and it doesn't get put back in, then the council go, yeah, like £5,000 has gone. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's really tight. It means that she couldn't, like, if I got married, she couldn't contribute to that. She couldn't contribute to a holiday or anything because the council are checking all her goddamn money. Euroborough's Messiah. Have I said that right? Thank you. Jen says, it's nuts how expensive vets are. I took on a rescue dog and she has a health condition. Even with insurance, it's 4K so far and it's a lifetime condition. She's my little girl. So that was the thing. So I've got such a runny nose. I couldn't sleep last night for 3 reasons. 1, worried about the cat. 2, I knew I was going to have a confrontation with the vet over something. And 3, because it didn't sit comfortably. It sits here. Didn't sit comfortably, the money. And I did meditate on it. I did pray on it. And the answer was, give the money back. Give the money back. It'll be all right. Give the money back. You've been touched by kindness and people have said some really wonderful things. Give the money back. Have a dono bar here. If people want to do that on a much smaller scale, that is great because we do a dono bar anyway. Give the money back. You'll find a way to make it work. And when I say pray, I don't mean like Jesus' dad. I don't mean the old white dude, or the 8-armed elephant or any of that stuff, right? For me, because I go to AA and 12-step programs, there is an element of faith. They use the word God with a capital G. I think it should be... The language is very kind of 1930s, and it's God with a capital G. And we always talk about... The language is very male-oriented. It doesn't really apply to women, the language. I think, and it's kind of treated like a sacred text, which it's magic. It's a wonderful book, the AA Big Book. But it's quite old-fashioned language. I think they should update it. I think it should be God with a small g. I think it should be he, her, they. That ain't never going to happen. Anyway, we talk about God, or I prefer to call it a higher power. And for me, the higher power is the universe. All I had to do was accept that there was something more powerful than me. And there is. I think about the planet being made. Well, what made that? The Big Bang. Okay, well, that's more powerful than me. God, whatever it may be, that's more powerful than me. So my higher power is the universe, it's sunlight, it's rain, it's nature, it's trees. So I like to go for walks in the woods because that's where my higher power is. It's over hearing my kids laughing. That's a big one. And it's kind of the magic that happens when you're in an AA meeting, sat in a circle. So I've been praying. And I've been going for walks. I was talking about going for walks. And, yeah, I think you're right, Richard. I've been talking about going for walks, and I have found 2 churches near me, and I used to walk in the graveyard of one, and they're open. So it sounds like popping candy, space candy. Imagine if space candy didn't make a noise, and it's just people going... Fizwiz says the shopkeeper, the sweetie shopkeeper, the SSK, the sweetie shopkeeper. I've been going in these churches. There's a really small one. I thought they were open. I didn't know I thought churches had closed because of, drug abusers, Brexit, COVID. I don't know. But they're open. So I've been going to this really tiny one. Get down on my knees. I get down on my knees. I have a little pray up. Got the step 3 prayer. You want to hear the step 3 prayer? Here's the step 3 prayer. Some of you are going to laugh at this, I don't care. The step 3 prayer, right? And this is the language, but the point of it is great. You know the serenity prayer, right? Step 3 prayer. Many of us said to our Maker, as we understood him. That's the key thing, as we understood him. Everyone's interpretation. If I was seeking help for a medical condition, they started talking about God, I'd be out of there. You'd be missing out. You'd be missing out. Alcoholism and drug addiction, I believe, is a spiritual malady. That's what I believe it is. I was looking for something and I thought I'd found it in drugs. It's a spiritual malady. And the God thing scares a lot of people. It scared me. God doesn't get mentioned until step 3. First one is we came to admit we were powerless over our addiction and our lives have become unbearable. I think. Step 2, where's step 2? Hang on a minute. Let's get this right. Let's get step 2 up. Let's get the steps. 12 steps. Maybe God is mentioned in step 2. This is the AA ones. It's like we admitted. Here we go. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol or drugs, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So 1 is easy. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. My life was a car crash. People hurt, relationships ruined. The first time around, financially bankrupt. And I couldn't stop. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, lives become unmanageable. Fine. 2, came to believe a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I couldn't do it. Psychiatrists couldn't do it. Doctor couldn't do it. Pills couldn't do it. Is there something more powerful than me? Well, drugs are more powerful than me. So there is something more powerful than me. It's drugs. So maybe there's something else that could restore me to sanity. Then we get to the God. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. We made a decision. We didn't do it. We made a decision. Okay, I've decided I'm going to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand him. It or her or they. And on it goes, and on it goes, and on it goes, and on it goes. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It puts a lot of people off. It put me off for a long time. I didn't get clean. It took me 16 months of going to... Some people get it at the first meeting. I didn't get it for 16 months. Going in and going out, going in and going out. There we go. Moraine, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. And nature, Welsh coast. It works, man. It works. 16 months ago, and then I finally got it. And I kept saying, but the God thing, man, I don't believe in God. And my friend Dave, I haven't spoken to for ages, said, forget that. That's step 3. Forget it. You're not there yet. Just forget it. Forget about the God stuff. When we do the Serenity Prayer, don't say God. Miss that bit out. It's fine, man. Don't say it. I was like, okay. And the steps are in an order. That's why you don't go in with step 8. We made a list of people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them. Number 9, we made amends, except where to do so would injure them or ourselves. Imagine that was the first step. Step 1. You got to apologise to everyone that you've hurt. Step 1. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Step 1. I didn't go for a long time because I knew I thought you had to go and say sorry to everyone you'd been a shit to. It's not like that. Anyway, and it is God as we understand him. I would prefer him, her, it, they. Him, her, they, it. But that's not going to happen. What was I talking about? Oh, the step 3 prayer. So I've been getting in this church. Then I found another church down the road. It was open. And churches are great, man. And I was doing transcendental meditation in there today. And it was empty. And I got down on my knees and I began to pray. And this is the prayer that I'm doing because it's great. My sponsor has suggested I do this every morning, right? Forget the language, it's the sentiment, right? Many of us said to our Maker, as we understood him, her, it, or they, God, I offer myself to thee to build with me. Remember, I'm not talking to Jesus' dad. I'm talking to the universe, right? I'm talking to the planets. I'm talking to trees. So when I say God, I'm talking to trees. Imagine that. God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. I'm talking to the power that makes a flower grow. That's what I'm talking to. Relieve me of the bondage of self that I may better do thy will. Take me out of myself. So stop me sitting in myself and being self-obsessed and worrying and, guy worships trees. Take me out of myself. If I'm sat in myself, I'm a danger to myself. Take away my difficulties. It doesn't mean like suddenly everything's fine. It's like, take me out of myself so I'm not thinking about my difficulties for a bit, even if it's for 5 minutes. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. That's what I talked about earlier. If I'm doing my will, I am fucked. If I'm doing my will, game over, man. My will has taken me to drug dens, to horrible sex places, to treating partners awfully, to anger, to aggression, to relapse. My will has taken me to relapse. I can't trust my will. My will is like, go and kill yourself. Go and do some cocaine. Cocaine, yeah. Go and do something inappropriate sexually, consensually, I should say. This is my will. So when I'm feeling like that, some cocaine would be nice. Let me just check with the power that makes the water flow down rivers. I meditate, and I say, this would be okay. And then I'm kind of told, no, don't do it. Don't do it, man. So that's what it is for me, and it's working. And it may not work for everyone. I don't know any other way of getting clean and staying clean. It's the only thing that works for me. And when it has stopped working for me, when I've relapsed, it's because I stopped working it. If I work it, it works. It can be hard work sometimes, and sometimes, all we say is just for today. So I'm not going to have a drink today. Tomorrow I can renegotiate. But sometimes it gets harder than that, and so I break it down into it's 5:30. I'm not going to have a drink until 7 o'clock, and then I'll renegotiate at 7. Sometimes I say, it's 24 minutes past 5. I'm not going to have a drink until 5:30, and then I'm going to renegotiate with myself. Break it down. Why am I telling you this? I don't know. Because I go into churches and pray, and I'm a little bit embarrassed. And it's good. It works. It works. Does anyone want to give us a call? Does anyone want to give us a call? I'm just going to remind you that this donor bar is here. It's completely voluntary. I got at least a £7,500 bill for my cat. You're right, George. You missing your sister? You missing Pat Pats? Come here. He's a little bit lost. He is missing his sister. This is George. Write down on paper the choice you're about to make and read it back and think about how you feel, because you might receive the concept differently. Realise it doesn't look good. Eat one chocolate bar, not 5. So the donor bar is there because I'm going to get £7,500 minimum. I was worried yesterday that I got the maths wrong and was exaggerating. No, £7,500 minimum for one of my cats. Probably could be close to 8.5, 9. And I did a GoFundMe, and I got £5,500, and then I got like £500 from a pop star, not Imani, and so it's about £6,000, a bit more. And I just thought, no, this is not right. Where you going, George? I'm watching you. Don't go in that cupboard. So I gave it back because it was the right thing to do. Something will happen. So it was more than a broken leg. It's a bit dislocated pelvis. It's horrible. I gave it back because it was the right thing to do, and people were so kind, and it was the right thing to do. Listen, if I need food, if I haven't got food in the cupboard, and I can't afford food, if you just haven't got food in the cupboard, that's like most times. But if I can't afford food, I'll do a GoFundMe then. One of my kids needs treatment and we have to go private, I'll do a GoFundMe then. Don't need it. Is he gone? George? Is he in there? Did he go in there? I don't need it. I'm doing this. Completely voluntary. I'm going to update it. He didn't. He went, did he? Little sod. I'm going to update it so it goes on until the end of August. Catherine has very kindly said that I can keep this money. So it's going to go towards Pattie. I don't want £5,500. Every little bit helps, but there's no obligation. There's no obligation. If you did do the GoFundMe, you should have got your refund. It should take 3 to 7 days, but I know some people got the refund today because I got a load of emails saying refund. I don't know if that's everybody, but if you did the GoFundMe, you should get the money soon. I want to change. I want to change this. I think the number for Samaritans pops up, doesn't it? You had the email about it, Roger. And if people got the money back and don't want to donate to this, that's cool as well. I went in a bit heavy on Twitter. And it was not the right thing for me to do. Whereas this feels like the right thing for me to do. But where do I... Hello? Hello, guys. How do I change this, please? Let's have a little look-see here. Donor bar, edit. Let's change the date because I want it to go on a little bit longer. Oh, look, here's my vet friend who's been helping. Guess what? He's asked, how did the surgery go today? Guess what? They're doing it tomorrow. You should be in bed. You should be in bed. Who was that? Right, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Dan, tip £5. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. That is appreciated. I know why I echoed. Right, I want to change the date. How do I change the date? Change the date. Settings. Settings. August. No. Hello. There we go. Thank you. You lot are the best. You lot are the best. And I am thrilled that we have made, Catherine and I have made such a lovely community. No. I am thrilled that Catherine and I have created a little, it's like, I feel like we've set up a little stall. Shut up, Jim. Not talking to you, talking to everyone else, including Jenna, your partner, who fancies me more because of my hair. It's for Jenna. Everyone else look away. We haven't created a community. We set up a little stall in the middle of the woods. And people couldn't really see us, and they certainly couldn't hear us. But yet you found us, and we found you. You found us in the woods. Thank you for finding us in the woods. Is it bad of me that I was in the church and it had the songs? You know, they have the songs up. And the first one was 69. And I giggled. Is that bad? Is that bad? Is that bad? I laughed at that. Yeah, baby. No one wants to call. So, well, I don't know what to do. It was God's will. God's willy. I don't know what to call. What? Well, no, I'm just saying people can call if they want to call. But they... what? What is this? What? Oh. Oh, okay. No. Dry eye builds. You're naughty person. Naughty person. No. We don't want any naughty people here. Back to normal schedule tomorrow. So we'll be doing tomorrow's show. Oh, I tell you who we've got coming on tomorrow's show. And this is what we were going to watch today, but we're not going to watch it today. But we're going to watch a little bit of it today. Let's go to YouTube. We've got Claudia. You should be in bed, Roger. You're a good man, Roger. Thank you. We've got Claudia from Paddington Green coming on. Now, for those who haven't seen Paddington Green, it was one of the best fly-on-the-wall documentaries ever. And Claudia ran, or her dad ran it then. She runs it now. A scooter shop. She's the one that sold the scooters, the Curious Orange, yeah. And I've been in touch with her for about 5 years, and I keep saying, we should get on the show, come on the show. Yeah, I'll come on the show. And series 1 is on YouTube. She's got the rest. And she put them on a memory stick for me, and it didn't work. It didn't work. This was years ago. Some of the original talk radio. Not the original, but You Should Be in Bed. Who was that? Anonymous tipped £20. Anonymous Thank you very much indeed. It is appreciated. You know, 8.5, 7.5 to 9,000. It's a lot of money. But something will happen. Something will happen. Something will happen. It did remind me, though, I do think something will happen and the money will somehow present itself. But I'm reminded of the joke on the two. I always remember. Let me just check this. Hang on, what is going on here? Why is that? Let me just see what's going on here. Thank you, Anonymous. The sound for the donos and subs is gone. I can hear it. Oh, geez, this goddamn... Oh, maybe I've turned this down. There we go. That should do it. You should be able to hear it now. What was I talking about? I know we were going to talk about Paddington Green. I was talking about something else. Oh, it doesn't matter. Right. So this is Paddington Green. So she's coming up. Claudia is hopefully coming on tomorrow. But I thought there were more episodes. It's a great show. Oh, the joke. So there's a great joke from the two Ronnies. I wonder if that's on YouTube, because he'll tell it better than I ever could. YouTube. Two Ronnies.
Used to be in bed.
Did you hear that? Always new depths, thank you. Did you hear that? Two Ronnies. You heard it, right. Two Ronnies. Ronnie Corbett joke. So it's one of those ones when he sat in the chair, and I always used to love those as a kid.
This evening, I'd like...
Let's see what this is.
Boat. Suddenly, out of the sea, there appeared an apparition. And he was very, very frightened. He says, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Well, actually, I am a castaway."
No, this isn't it. Oh, maybe it is. Hang on.
This evening, there appeared a wetsuit. What are you doing here? Very, very humble about that. He said, "I am a castaway on this desert island." And she said, "Oh, you poor man. Well, I never."
No, it's not that. So the joke is... I wonder if it's here. The joke is a guy's hanging from a cliff, right? And a guy's hanging from a cliff. I know there's no video. And he prays to God, and he hears God's voice. God say, I will save you. Right? And so he's hanging from a cliff, and a boat comes along, and the boat say, we'll come and get you. And the guy's go, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. God's going to save me. And the boat goes, all right, fine, then go. Then a helicopter comes along. We're going to lower a rope. And the guy goes, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. God's going to save me. And then, I don't know, a third thing comes along. We'll save you. No, God's going to save me. And then he falls and he lands on the rocks and he dies. And he goes to heaven. And he said, God, I thought you were going to save me. And God goes, what do you mean? I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. Boom, 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 boom. And maybe that was what the money was.
Bed.
Thank you, Alistair. Thank you. And thank you, Jeannie. Always new depths. I don't know if I thanked you. Thank you. It's a great joke. I don't tell it as well. But maybe, I'm thinking it's something's going to happen. Maybe that was the money. Maybe that was the thing. Doesn't matter. Right. Let's have a little... It's a good joke. I used to love those Ronnie Corbett bits. Some show. This is the first time I'd even... It is on, but I can't see it. If you've called, I'll call you back. This is the first time I'd ever heard of... I think they used the word transsexual. First time I'd ever heard of it. Knew of it, I think. I mean, what year was this? I don't want to... What year? Maybe... what year? What year? See, it feels a little bit late, actually. Feels a little bit late. What year was Paddington Green? 1998. No, I'd heard before then. She became a
This
singer.
is my dream to get into this school. And if I don't get in, I'm going to be so upset.
See if Claudia's in.
I'm proud of you no matter what's happened. I'm next. I'm so nervous.
Claudia's not there. But it is a great series. I thought there were more episodes. Why is it all kids? Paddington Green documentary. Life of Grime. We're not watching that.
Used to be in bed.
Quiet Bloke. £50.69. Thank you. Why is it all the kid stuff? They've just seemed to have cut all the adult stuff out. First of all, I don't remember this many kids being in it. Yeah, they've just cut all the adults out. Well, that's weird. Splash School. Well, where is it gone? They've not taken it all down, have they? Paddington Green, BBC. Oh, this is terrible if they've taken it all down. God, it looks like they have. Oh my God, this is awful. It's gone. Paddington Green has gone. This is a terrible. Claudia. Is that the name of the company? Well, here's the shop. But the documentary's gone, which is pretty... They've taken it down. That's awful. That's awful. This is a great shot.
Well, you know I woke up all this morning.
Where's Claudia? She avoid a chance. Wow. That's awful. That's awful. They've taken it down. Terrible state of affairs. Hello, brother. How are you doing?
Basil's just hyperextended my elbow, so that's not great.
What does that mean? Like stretched it beyond where it should be stretched?
Yeah, pulled my arm out the car and against the door was open and against the frame of the door.
Jeez.
Bent my elbow back, so I've been in a bit of agony, if I'm honest.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry to hear that. That's they're a pain, right? They're a pain. These animals. How is he? He was poorly, right?
So it turns out he's allergic to grass.
Jesus. Of course he is.
So we've got some foot spray to put on his between his toes after he's been on grass. And that cost us £70 to find that out.
Jesus.
So,
is the spray affordable? Because sometimes those repeating things can be quite expensive.
I don't know. We get because he's got a pet plan. It's not pet plan. He's got a repeating medication anyway.
Okay,
so
right.
We get 10% off through our vets anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that costs us £70. I'm hoping it's not £70 every time, but it's an as and when, so it's sparing. Use sparingly.
People are asking, would socks work?
Well, we rather than buy socks, which probably would cost us a tenner, we're replacing the grass in our garden with AstroTurf.
Of course you are, because you own a pet, and that's what we do.
We'd already got that plan before we found out about this, because he'd had a bit of grass seed problems before, but not on his feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're we're having that done in August. This must be mad.
Yeah, of course
It's because I don't want to mow the lawn either. So
Do you know what? My least favourite jobs are emptying the dishwasher and mowing the lawn. I live on my own. If I don't do it, no one's going to do it.
I don't mind emptying the dishwasher. I hate filling it.
Oh, I just do it as I go along. Or, I love that's the easy thing. Open,
No, I just stack it all on the counter on top, as Jem will testify.
Yeah, I do kind of leave my kitchen is the hardest thing to keep tidy, but it's not. It's probably the easiest thing. Put it in the dishwasher, spray, wipe it down. But my head cannot do it.
No, I'm the same. I'm rubbish at doing it as I go. I like saving things up I like efficiency. So I like saving things up into bigger jobs to do in one, and then it's done for a long while. But then that just ends up with loads of stuff never being done. Procrastinating. Definitely.
We have got next week, if we do a show next Friday, we may not actually, but soon we've got Jacqueline Paul coming on, who wrote a book about kind of living with ADHD, and I just found this book incredible. I don't do everything it's in there, but a lot of stuff like using the calendar on my phone, and a lot of stuff is really revolutionized my life, and she's helped me understand a lot of the stuff that's going on. So you might find some of what she has to say interesting, and it's for me, I'm not suggesting you're ADHD, but for me it's like looking at it's about breaking things down. So cleaning the kitchen is a project, putting stuff in the dishwasher is a task. And a project is a lot of tasks. So if I look at cleaning the kitchen as as one task, I'm screwed, because I'll go off and do different things. But if I can break the project down into tasks, then I can do it. May sound obvious to a lot of people, but to me it was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Why had I never thought of that?
Now that'll explain why Jem will ask me to make her a cup of tea. I'll go into the kitchen, put the kettle on to boil. I'll then notice that the recycling needs taking out, but I'm not going to just take the recycling. I'm going to take the bin bag as well. But that's not full. So then I'll start emptying the out of date stuff that's in the fridge, and then I'll take the recycling out and I'll go and sit down back on the sofa, and Jen will
Where's my cup of tea?
Where's my cup of tea?
Oh shit! I forgot.
I'm going to do it now.
Are you ADHD, do you think? Because that does sound... Now I'm starting to recognise it in me. That sounds like an ADHD kind of thing. Doesn't mean you are.
I'm wondering. The more you've talked about it, the more I've wondered.
Yeah. There are tests you can do. And I did 3 of these tests. It's like you answer the questions and you get a score out of 30. And each one I was getting like 26, 28. One I got 29. And I said to Kath, I got 29, but... these things are always worded so that you get high scores, so that you then sign up for whatever it is they're selling. And she went, well, the one you got 29 on, send it over to me. She phoned me about 5 minutes later. I got 6. And I went, right. And then I went through it saying, but this is normal, right? She went, well, it's not normal, but I don't do it. And those tests are, they're interesting. Doesn't prove anything, but they're interesting.
I'll have to have a look.
Have a Google.
My battery's about to die. So.
I can take a hint. Goodbye. Thank you very much indeed for your time. It's appreciated. It's appreciated. I thought the first 30 minutes were going to be free. It kind of got screwed up today, so I'm doing... we're just kind of busking it. Rejection, sensitive, dysphoria. Does that mean that I take... Before I Google it, I don't know what dysphoria is. Oh, okay. Let me work it out. So that means if I'm rejected, either I don't get a job or someone says they don't want to dance with me, it becomes a huge thing. Dysphoria is... So I'm rejection. I'm sensitive to rejection. Dysphoria, I'm guessing, is not seeing it for what it actually is. Am I close? Alistair, I'm going to call you back in a second. Am I close? Hard to bear. Dysphoria, hard to bear. An extreme emotional sensitivity and pain triggered by the perception that a person is being rejected. Yes, I do get that. I do get that. I take everything personally. Of course, I mean, partly my job is a personal thing because, you say, oh, don't take it personally. My aspect of my job is personality led. It's my personality that they're hiring. Blow rejection out of all proportion, unpleasant aspect of ADHD. I would argue with the phrase out of all proportion because it is the proportion that we perceive it in. But yes. Don't most people take rejection personally, though? I guess they do, Pete. I don't know. You seem to. I don't know if everyone else does. I mean, for me, it can devastate me for like weeks. In bed crying, oh God, I should be dead. I should be dead. The oversensitive thing is you overreacted. I think she overreacted. I don't think there's no such thing as overreaction. It's just reaction. People say to me, oh, you overreacted. I didn't. I reacted. That was my reaction. You may think it was too big, but it was my reaction. No such thing as overreaction. Someone's reaction is their thing. Well done, Crayfish. Very funny. He says, geez, Izzy, stop going on about it.
Hello.
Hello, Alistair.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, man, can you thank Jeannie for that very kind donation?
It was mainly her, actually.
Of course it was.
I was wondering about it because, I don't know, why? Okay.
I had a lot of cats donating to me. And I got another one of the nice things. I got to see lots of lovely pictures of lovely cats that people shared.
Right.
So,
can you see my face?
Nope.
I don't know. Oh, is that better?
Here he comes. Yeah. There he is.
So, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry that you've had this on top of everything else to go through because, you could have done without that. But you'll get there in the end, little by little.
Yeah. It'll work.
Now, I've been I think you have noticed I've not been great this last month.
Yeah, I have picked up on that. I think we've talked about it a bit and we've not talked about it a bit as well.
Yeah. So, really I've been replacing the alcohol addiction with drinking cola and coffee.
Yep.
And it's given me that buzz. But the last week or so, it's been like, I've been watching The Walking Dead all night, with it. And that's what you shouldn't do, really, because you're actually damaging yourself. And it got to the point where I had thinking, I'm worthless and all the rest of it. And then I had that image of me in my brain of me sinking a nice cold pint of lager. And I thought, I need to get to a meeting Toot Sweet.
Toot Sweet, by the way, well done. No one says Toot Sweet anymore, and I love that. It took me ages to work out the song in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Toot Sweet, is a pun, because those are sweets that go toot, but it's also a phrase, Toot Sweet. Anyway, I interrupted, sorry.
Truly scrumptious, yeah.
So you had to get to a meeting Toot Sweet?
Yeah, and I've not phoned my sponsor for about a month. I was really kind of just enjoying your and Catherine's show, and that was always a highlight. But apart from that, I was just kind of, doing nothing. But anyway, the good thing is, because I've got so high with it, it's given me a bit of motivation. And I rang my sponsor at the weekend and had a decent longish chat with him, and I'm going to a meeting tonight.
Brilliant. Well done.
Because I need to get back on the old, regular meetings, because it's absolutely proven that it's such a brilliant thing. That there's 12 steps
And here's the thing: I lightly suggested go to a meeting, and then I thought, actually, no, I'm going to say it. Go to, my sponsor would say to me, "Go to a meeting. You feeling shit? Go to a meeting." But you knew that, and our brain deceives it. This disease is cunning. What is it? Cunning, baffling, and something else. I can't remember what it is. And it is cunning, baffling, and deceptive, maybe. And it lies to us and it tricks us. And it's not like one day you wake up and go, you know what, I'm fine, I'm going to have a beer. It might be, but it just slowly leads us down that path where we find ourselves in a pub or phoning a dealer or stood outside a sex worker's house or whatever it may be, or ordering, you know, a £2,000 TV on Amazon. It takes us down that road because it's cunning, baffling, and deceptive. There we go.
But it's funny you should mention the last one because, I've messed up quite a large proportion of the pension lump sum, unfortunately. But I've got a regular income as well, so
it happens. It happens.
I just have to live with that, you know.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Can't change that you spent the money. Courage to change the things I can. Don't do it again. And the wisdom to know the difference. You know what you can't change and what you can change.
Absolutely.
It's tough though, man. It's tough. And we as addicts or alcoholics, we're constantly looking for something to fill that hole. And we think it's in sex or in booze or in drugs or in violence for some people or in jumping out of airplanes with parachutes or whatever. And it's not. And we know it's not. But it's really, I find it really hard to remember that it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you how you're getting on. I know you said you were doing the step 5 on Friday.
Got postponed. It got postponed because my sponsor was having a problem at work. And it's funny because the night before I was in a meeting and I said, I really hope he says he can't do it tomorrow. And then he couldn't. So I'm going to start that on Saturday, hopefully. And he wants to try and meet up once a week to work through it because there's quite a bit. So hopefully Saturday. I'm all right in terms of recovery. I'm all right. In terms of mental health, I'm a car crash right now. In terms of esteem, I'm on the floor, man. But, you know, I ain't going to have a drug today.
Well, I've been obviously telling it to, as you would say, jog on. But did you get a decent meeting with your psychiatrist?
I did. He's great. And I tell you why it was so good. Normally when I speak to my psychiatrist, hey, you know, I'm fine. And it's been tough. It's been quite tough, actually. But I'm like that. I was in pieces when I spoke to him. And it was great because he could see it. I was in pieces and I kept apologizing. I said, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. I'm really, really sorry. And he said to me, Ian, I've written down has a disproportionate. What did he write? What was it he wrote down? I've written down that you imagine that you're causing problems when you're not. He said, how does that sit with what you've just told me about apologizing for wasting my time? And I went, yeah, I know, but I really am sorry for wasting your time. You know, he's great. And so we're kind of putting the ADHD meds to one side, which is a shame. And we're tinkering with the bipolar meds to get it right. It's early days. It's sort
of like the other thing you were talking about. It's little steps, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So we're tinkering with the quetiapine, which makes me sleepy, and I suspect the dose that he's going to give me is going to make me too sleepy, and that's okay because then we can work back a little bit. You know, but people. I always thought the psychiatrist was the person where you went and lay on the couch and they spoke with a German accent and you told them about your mother. It took me years to work out. That's what a counsellor or a therapist does. A psychiatrist. It's all chemicals. He is the one that writes the prescription for the medicine. That's it. He's like a pharmacist.
Yeah.
That's a psychiatrist. I took me years to work that out.
I may have mentioned it before. I used to work in a community mental health team as a social worker. Worked with a couple of psychiatrists in my career. There are strange animals, psychiatrists, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, you can get some really good ones who actually engage properly with patients, and then you can get some really bad ones who are power freaks.
This guy's great. And the guy I had before was great, although he didn't pick up on the bipolar and the ADHD. He was an addiction specialist who worked at the Priory, and he's a brilliant man. So we were kind of looking at the addiction, particularly around the drugs and the sex, and the depression. And he didn't. I think it's like 50-50, me and him. I didn't present the bipolar stuff. He didn't kind of really look at it too much. This guy, I'm seeing a different guy, and he's great as well. And I know what you mean about the power crazy. He's not. He's a really sincere guy that wants to help me. And he said, look, if you've got any problems, phone me or email me. It won't cost, because it ain't cheap. I want you to get well, and I think we can do this. So there you go.
That's brilliant. I'll leave you with this, and thank you for speaking. It's been great. I called Bezic last night. I don't know whether
because I fell asleep listening to Bezic, and I was kind of half woken up by your voice, and then I fell back to sleep. So I've got that to listen to. But I was thinking today, isn't it funny? Part of my brain recognised that voice and kind of brought me up to the surface a little bit just to check, and then took me down. I didn't hear what you talked about.
It was about. It was a follow-up to the call by Margaret about psychics and mediums.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
And so I told him an experience I'd had with. I'd been trying to court a young lady as a student at university.
Oh, she was a ghost.
She was into spiritualism. We went to a spiritualist church, and I just went along because I was trying to court her, and they spoke to me instead of her. And she was really annoyed about that. And she said, "Oh, they never speak to me. They never speak to me." And it was just some, I thought it was all a load of, doodah. It was a medium who was doing cold reading technique. That's what it was.
Margaret made a really good point, if it was Margaret. Why, they always say, I'm getting the letter M. My mum would say her name. She wouldn't just go, this is my first letter. She'd say her name.
Yeah. But I wanted to sort of, even though this is true, I can kind of look back now and laugh at it. I wanted to introduce a sort of little joke in the middle.
Oh.
And I'm not sure whether Alan saw it. It wasn't a joke. I mean, it was true, but because you know me, you know what I'm talking about. So I said, because the greatest tragedy, Alan, of the whole thing was the fact that it was unrequited love. And I was gutted by it.
I thought you were going to do the how do you find a happy medium? You tickle them, but okay.
Well, I should have said that to Jill rather than, not say, do you want to go out? No. Well, you've been friends for months. Come on.
I wish psychics were real. I think it's all bollocks.
Yeah.
I do think there is more, but I think the people that go, did you have a father, Alistair? I'm getting a male figure, maybe an uncle or a grandfather. It's that kind of stuff.
Well, that's what it was. And she said, "Oh, it's a grandfather," and he's standing there with his cane with a silver top. And of course, my dad, in his collections from his dad, does have one of those. But apparently, they must have been really popular in that era.
Right. Yeah.
So she would have known that was probably the case. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it?
Have you seen the film Face Off?
Yes, I have.
I watched it
a long
the weekend.
Time ago. I can't remember much about it.
Well, it's John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, spoiler alert, and they swap faces, right? And I saw it on VHS when it came out, and I started watching a recent Nicolas Cage film, Pig, and 3 minutes into it, I was bored. I thought, I fancy Face Off, right? And Face Off is great. I'll tell you what's so great about it, that I love films where they mention the title. And there's a scene where Nicolas Cage, who is actually John Travolta, but he's played by Nicolas Cage, he's going, I want to catch John Travolta and I want to cut his face off. Title of the film. And then the other bad guys go, what do you mean? But face off? Huh? Listen to this. Face off. They say the title of the film 4 times. I loved it. Problem with the film is it goes on for so long, and the last 45 minutes I'm screaming, just finish! Just finish! It's a long film.
I think they were happy with their own concept and wanted to continue it. But,
I enjoyed it, but it's too long.
I saw a good film at the weekend, but it was from Shudder, the horror website, and it's got so many triggers in it that I don't really want to recommend it. But, I mean, for me, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was. If I tell you, the film was about a mixture of a Spanish language film, the mixture of Misery. Have you seen Misery?
Yeah, of course.
And Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Oh, wow.
I mean, obviously, the writers borrowed a lot from that, but the way it's constructed, the structure is really brilliant.
Pete says we've all had those moments of shouting, just finish, just finish. I think we have, particularly if you're on certain antidepressants. Have you seen, speaking of Spanish horror films, have you seen REC, R-E-C?
I've not seen it, but I know about it because I kept thinking, oh, what's this going to be? It's about a video, isn't it?
It is a young female Spanish reporter is making a documentary about the fire brigade. So she's spending the night with a fire brigade, and then they get called to a block of flats. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, and you strongly recommend that?
I strongly recommend it. I gently recommend REC 2. I do not recommend any of the others. REC, strong. REC 2, gentle. REC 3, I don't bother about that crap.
I'm gonna watch it.
All right.
I'm gonna watch it.
Nice one.
All right.
Well, Alistair, lovely to talk to you, mate.
So
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
See you later on. Get thee to a meeting. REC 2 is okay, but they change the mythology. They change the mythology. I think we're done. Thank you so much for your donations. It means a lot. If you're wondering what that's for, my cat Pattie is having an operation. It's going to be about £7,500 at least. I reckon it'll go up to about £9,000. I did a GoFundMe, and it was not the right thing for me to do, so I gave all the money back. This is more appropriate, and if you want to donate, you can. If you don't want to donate, it's cool, man. I put the total at $750. It was just an arbitrary thing, so I didn't want to put $5,000 or any of that stuff. But there you go. If you are a $4.99 and above Patreon, I'm going to upload this as a full podcast for you in a little bit. If you want to join the Patreon, I would suggest. I Am Max says I've just had a full hour and a half of chat only. My Twitch is broke. Wow. So you couldn't hear us. That's crazy. I would suggest if you want to sign up to the Patreon, wait until August the 1st. Because if you sign up now, you get charged now, and you get charged on August the 1st. And Izzy, it's true. There's no such thing as an overreaction. Our reaction is our reaction. It's not like we think, that window got broken and that's going to cost £250. I'm going to really scream and shout. If you scream and shout, that's your reaction. It's natural. Thank you, everybody. Back tomorrow. Yeah, man up, Snowflake. Back tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Oh, should we go and raid someone? Sorry, I forgot. Let's go and raid someone. I forgot where we were. I forgot we weren't in the other place. Yeah, scary film. Oh! Me? Izzy, namaste. Me and Michael Sava, we're going to be doing a podcast and a streaming thing soon. Sunday nights, Lost Watch Along. We're going to start from episode 1 again. Right? And we're going to do it together. And it's going to be a podcast. And you guys will be able to phone in if you want, but we're going to chat. It's going to be Sunday nights. Don't quite know when we're going to start. And we are going to commit to doing 6 episodes. And obviously, if life gets in the way, we'll move it. We're going to commit to doing 6 episodes, and we're going to do it kind of 6 episodes at a time. So that it does, because if we say, right, we're going to do season 1, that's quite overwhelming. Was it 18 episodes, 20 episodes? That's overwhelming. It's like 4 months. 6 episodes at a time. With the proviso, if either of us are not enjoying it, we stop. That's happening. I like Michael a lot. I'm looking forward to working with him. He's a nice guy. He's an intelligent guy. He knows Lost. Don't tell him this, man. He knows Lost better than I know Lost. So we're going to see if we can get maybe some of... We won't get the big stars. We're going to see if we can get some of the smaller people from Lost to come on, which will be fun. I finished... Oh, Alistair, I finished The Leftovers. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's go to Just Chatting. Let's find someone. Find someone. Let's find someone. Let's find someone. Let's find someone. Let's find someone. You know, I've met Evangelina Lilly. And we'll watch maybe some of the spin-off shows that I did as well. Oh, and I'm learning how to do guided meditations. 3 seasons, The Leftovers, Dan. I'm learning how to do guided meditations. And I thought we might do some guided meditations on the stream. And we might have like a dono bar, like a small one, just for like charities or something. And even if we raise £8, right, we give it to charities. And it'll be small charities. So it wouldn't be like the Samaritans or big. It'd be like small local charities, like little 20-minute guided meditations. I'm going to learn how to do it. Who's this? Quizman. Who's the Quizman? Series 1, Episode 6. I have no idea what's going on. Well done. Who is this? The Quizman is an enigma. This could be good. This guy could be good. So I'm learning. I spoke to a really incredible woman. I found a local meditation centre, and she chatted to me for about 40 minutes, and she's given me some pointers on how to learn how to do it. Mandy, if you're not liking it, maybe I was hooked from the very first moment, October the 14th. If you're not digging it, then don't have to. It's not for everyone.
Were you comfortable that it was the end? Like, you might have got a day where you felt a little bit better, than the next day you were worse than you were 2 days ago. And I was kind of like, there was points when if you've ever had anything where your breathing's restricted, it's terrifying, because you're kind of like, well, if this gets worse, I'm dead. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your generosity. Pat's, you know,
up till the last few weeks, I don't know that many people who had it except for family. Exactly.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Let's go and raid. Goodbye.
What's that? I can send over the game footage for you